You should have training. Now you said voice acting is voiceover. It's a little different. I mean, because voice acting is more acting versus voiceover. And not as much. Yeah, Sunday stuff though that's very passe. You know, the whole announcery thing is just it's very passe. You'll see that more in local advertising, which is almost it's basically always non-union. Therefore, agents won't want to touch it. And then with that, it also sort of becomes who you know. But getting training helps because you will hone your craft as an actor. And the other thing is you will meet people. And you don't have to go to college for it. I mean, I did, and that was fine. Great, okay. But if you do, but then you need to stay active in that community. Take classes, take workshops. Do a play. Do community theater if you want. Just because you might meet people who are doing some other thing and they can help you. The best way that I find new actors is from other actors. So I'm working with some girl on a show, a girl that I like and respect, like she's got talent, and I know that she knows her shit, and she's saying, hey, I'm doing this off-Broadway gig with this dude, and he's super funny, and I think he'd be really good. You should audition him. I will almost always audition that person, because I, respect what she has to say, and if that's, so keeping involved in the community, and then the other thing is you gotta have a demo. When you're an actor, you act on stage or on camera, you have to have headshots, you have to have a demo. You gotta have some sort of samples that show off what you do, and then you can take that and then shop it around. Some agents or a lot of casting places just like to cast off the demos, and you gotta have samples of your work. You need to have professional samples of your work. I'm not saying you gotta go spend thousands at a studio. You can do amazing things from home, but I don't know if that's your girlfriend sitting next to you, but if it is her, you don't want to hear her in the background going, hi, where's the blah, blah, blah. You don't want to hear the people upstairs walking around. You don't want to hear cars on the street, you know what I mean? You need a nice quiet environment where you can record yourself to get a nice warm sound. You want your demo to sound like you came right off the TV or off the radio. People don't want a diamond in the rough that they can imagine how they can work with and shape. They want a guy that will make them money today, that they can just throw out there and it's a done deal. So, what else? I got time for a couple more. Sorry, that's what we got. Who did the voice for Zekrom and Reshiram? That was Mark Thompson. He played them both. Oh. That's in the last Pokemon movie. Zekrom and Reshiram are these two big legendary Pokemon dragons. I'm sure some of you know about that. And they were played by Mark Thompson. And this is a great thing for you on your demo over there if you're going to get into that. If acting is the most important thing to show, that you can play different characters. But if you've got vocal range, you can show that off, you go for it. Because a guy like Mark, that's the producer part of my brain kicks in. And I'm like, I can cast Mark as this guy and sing the nickel. Yay, nickel for him. And that's, not everybody can do that. Like, you look at a guy like James Earl Jones. James Earl Jones, who's that? Everybody?
Vader.
That's Darth Vader, right. Voice of Darth Vader. James Earl Jones has one sound. He sounds like that guy all the time. Except he's got a fantastic sound, and he's a really, really good actor. So James Earl Jones can play a huge wide variety of characters, although he always has the same sound. So having the character range, the acting range, is far more important than the vocal range. But if you have both, you can get a lot more work. All right, Pikachu, what do you got? What Pokemon characters have I played? Hang on. I might have a video with lots of them on here. And if maybe we'll play it, and then we're going to have to wrap it up, I think. But if I don't, then I'll just try to explain to you. I played, okay, out of the new Pokemon they've got on the show now, I'm Dwebble, and wait, what episode aired today? Do you know? Okay. Okay. Alright, because whatever, I don't know who hasn't shown up yet. So I'm not supposed to give things away. But I know I played Silence Dwebble, and I played Excadrill that Iris has, and I've got Ash has a Roggenrola, that's me, and the Yamask and Team Rocket have is me, and then I do a bunch of other ones, like I don't know, like if you get the Pokepark 2 game, I'm like, I don't know, 30 of them on there maybe that are me. So, what? Arceus was me. Arceus, all right, I'm going to end with this story because then we got to go. But let me tell you this one last weird Pokemon story, okay? So, the 12th movie, did you all go see it? No. Yes. Good for you over there. All right. No, but no, it's pretty cool. It's Arceus the Jewel. It's the 12th movie. And Arceus is basically like Pokemon God, okay? It is the Lord of Creation, basically. So, and it's this like flying space horse thing. And I did a movie, I worked on this movie with Vincent D'Onofrio, you know who he is? Anybody see Full Metal Jacket? It's Private Pot, the big guy. You know, and then of course he's in, is he in Law and Order? One of those, or, yeah, it's like one of the Law and Orders, and plus he's been in like just a ton of movies and all this stuff. But anyway, so I was working on some movie with him, a horror movie that he made, and we got along real well, you know, and he was like, hey, you know, he's like, I want to come work on a cartoon with you. I'm like, all right, you know, fine with me. And he's like, hey, anything weird. It's like, it'd be great. It'd be a lot of fun. He's got kids. He has young kids and stuff too. So I'm like, okay. We keep an eye out for something. I'm like, but you know, most of the stuff we get is non-union, and you know, he's a real main union talent. So he's like, I don't care, just whatever. I'm like, all right. So the Pokemon movie was coming up, and it was movie number 12. So it was like 2.5 years ago, or 3 years, or whatever. And so I'm like, hey, maybe Vincent wants to be this Arceus thing, you know? And I'm like, let's try that, because in Japan, the guest characters are often played by people who are rather well-known TV and movie stars. So I think that the producers were, like the Pokemon Japanese producers were kind of into the idea. So we, you know, we're like, hey Vincent, do you want to do this thing? You know, Lord of Creation, Flying Space Horse. He's like, oh yeah. And I'm like, okay. So we're like, great, awesome. All right, he's going to be in this movie. It'll be weird. I'm like, but we got to be able to put your name on the box. He's like, yeah. Like, it's non-union. Fuck him, I don't care. I'm like, great, okay. So 2 days before we were supposed to start recording with him, his lawyer calls and freaks out because, you know, whatever. He's like, you know, and it's right, you know, if you're in the union, whatever, you're not supposed to do that, etc. Especially a guy like that, it's going to get noticed, and that would be bad. So Vincent then was like, I'm sorry, I can't. So we end up now having cash for this thing, and more often than not, when we cast for something like that, we try and honor what the Japanese are doing with it. And we listen to it, and just try to give them things that sort of sound like that. And there was a lot of debate back and forth as to what the voice should be like. Should it be like the Japanese? Because the Japanese voice is kind of strange. It's this older voice, and it can be a little higher at times, and when it gets angry, it's really like kind of, you know, Starscream. They told us that the guy who plays in Japan is like this 50-something-year-old like drag queen guy, like a guy who's well known for like playing drag roles or something like that. And so we went. There was a long audition process, and in the beginning they wanted to hear more like the voice of God, as they call that often, which I thought was sort of funny because we tried to give them other ideas. The one idea that I liked the most is we did a hybrid that we used a man's voice and a woman's voice together. And when it was peaceful, the woman's voice was the predominant. When it got angry, the man came forward. And they were like, no, it's too science fiction. And we're like it's a flying space horse.